Going on, y'all? Back with another one. Back with another one. Sunday dailies. Sunday dailies. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the rest of the week I ain't gonna be here, but I'll drop some content um on the Juneteenth. Record some, but this is like a Sunday dailies, the 15th edition. Yeah, yeah. We're doing quite well on Sunday dailies. But again, this is a I would say this is a Father's Day edition. Mine's currently still living. Happy Father's Day for the real fathers out there, and the ones that actually doing the work. But normally I don't speak on these issues. I'm not a father myself. I'm just gonna make that clear. Just don't take offense or anything. But the shouts at the real ones out there doing the work, and shouts out to Black fathers, the ones that really fighting against the system. That you got these so-called women, these females thinking they fathers, which is weird. I see it a lot on Twitter, Instagram, and it's a bunch of BS. Okay, a lot of it's hate. A lot of it goes back to show where we stand on things, but it's like more division than anything else. But Father's Day is not truly celebrated. Like I did a stream like this 2 years ago. It's a shame where we are today. I think a lot of people get caught up on what fathers ain't doing and things like that nature. It's just pretty much what we've seen in so many years. But when you get to a certain level in life, once the highest achievement is, they try to say it's fatherhood. Yeah, fatherhood's part, but it's a choice. Some people choose not to be. That's cool. People adopt kids and things like that. But if I ever become one, I'd rather have my own instead of adopting. Adopting would be too much of a risk. But that's cool. Like a lot of people do that. I ain't shit on no father. But the real ones out there, the ones that actually raising their kids, those get respected. The ones that don't raise kids, I don't respect those. Those are worthless fathers to me. They're not even real fathers. They're just guys that say, okay, I impregnate the woman. I say, that's, they think they're a father, but they don't deserve that. But to me, let me tell you something about Mother's Day and Father's Day. I'm gonna break this down. Yes, it's in the culture of Israel, of course, it is a form of idolatry. I don't really worship it that much. Yes, I celebrate my family every year. Like when we have those days, we celebrate them every year. So it's kind of like this is a traditional thing. I'm not trying to get into the whole Father's Day thing. I'm just going to acknowledging the day it needs to be talked about. It's a good day, but I don't worship it. I'm just saying it's good to see the ones out there. And I think Dame touched on this about Black fathers. He said that's rare, and it is very rare. Actually, it's very rare and rare at the same time. You don't see fathers walk with their kids like that. The last time I saw that, it was probably 2012. That was like 11 years ago. And prior to that, you see that a lot. You don't see that no more. You don't see that no more. These kids don't care about fatherhood. They just want to knock everything down and don't want to raise their kids. That's just a fact. Yeah, kids cost a lot of money. We know that, but it takes a lot of responsibility. Despite if you got the money, don't waste your time on try to knock everything down and then try to have them. And that's on you. You got to be responsible. But some men don't want to be responsible. We understand. Don't end up like the guy with all the 7 different baby mamas. He's crazy. Ah, some good tea. Echinacea, elderberry echinacea, man. Gotta love it. In the morning. But like I said about Father's Day, it's one of those interesting days that you get to see. Most people talk about it as much, but you don't hear about it from us per se. It's just like you don't hear that much. And I'm just like looking at it from, you know, it's just one of those reasons that you see things and then and coming your way and things like that. But yeah, Father's Day is pretty much what we've seen is always, typical days. And, women try to celebrate both days, which is crazy. And it's kind of sad at the same time, kids without fathers, they need their fathers more than ever, but way society is deemed to them. And, these spaces that exist, these pro male spaces that's been around, but they've been a disaster because a lot of them are beta, a lot of them are soft, and a lot of them hate themselves, want to be women. Shouts out to Nate for that. That shit's wild, man. It's wild to me. And then you got a superstar that can't realize he's not the GOAT, Goat, not so Goat, just a crybaby. It just goes to show you that y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about LaBiscuit, aka LeBron. That's why I call him, on the side. That nigga crazy, bro. Always thinking about himself. But it goes to show you that you got people like that. Yeah, he's a father too, and he's got most people say he got three, but technically he's got four. I've heard he's got four kids. He's got four kids. I'm not surprised. But one's trying to be in the NBA, one's trying to be stars, and one's just trying to this is going to be the middle son's going to be the superstar of the family. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And it's kind of sad that you have a superstar just now. As a person he's okay, but as a player he just gets annoying. Like, he always got to have the narrative, but his name has to sell. That's what they talk about. And then we got an interesting father. We're breaking this all down to sports and life and everything else and other people. Even my father, he raised me the best he can and all that stuff, but he's still here. He just turned 70 this year. So it's a blessing that he's still here, but it is what it is. People make their choices, whatever. But it's kind of interesting about Jokic. I want to talk about Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, I mean, his culture don't care about the America's glitz and glamour, how we play sports. He look at basketball as a hobby. Now, that's very rare for a so-called modern day superstar. We're gonna break this down. That is so-called profound, right? Where he comes from in Serbia, right? In Eastern Europe, in Croatia, formerly known as Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was once a nation before Bill Clinton fucked it up. Of course, he was involved in that. We had no business. And it goes to the fall of the Great Berlin Wall, 1992. We already know. I knew that since I was 4, and I was like, at first I didn't understand why Clinton went that far, and then I look back at the years in the '90s, I didn't understand then. But once I got like a teenage, that's some foul shit that Bill Clinton did. I'm not gonna lie. And then when I got older, I said, no, we should never fuck with him like that. And I agree. I agree. Back then in '08, yeah, Clinton fucked that up. That's the only thing he should have stayed out was Yugoslavia, and it caused all that conflict. Yeah, there was one. There was a one big nation. That was in Europe. That was in Eastern Europe, and then Croatia and Kosovo. Y'all know the countries. He's from there. These are the type of people that rip your heads off and actually gouge out. They do some despicable things, but in his culture, I hate to say it, don't really care much about that American glitz and glamour. So Nikola Jokic surprised me. It's rare to see a father that cares about his kids and all that stuff. As an athlete, as a superstar, he shows that. He showed his son, whatever. He cared about the team trophy more than he cared about the Finals MVP trophy. They say he done lost it or left it, which is kind of crazy to me. Now, my thoughts, he may not go back again. That's what I'm saying. Do y'all want a championship that's back to back? Want a guy like that? But I'm just saying. But I don't think he cares. I think he was nonchalant about the sports thing, but as a father, he emphasizes so much. I find it very interesting, and that's very rare in the league. Most people don't do that. And like most of these, if you talk about our superstar, us, I call them Jakes. They're not in the word of the Yisrael or Yah's word or Yasharal's word. Our people, right? Jakes, right? So-called African Americans or black people, when you want to say, we don't do that. They always get praised to mama. They always get praised. Nothing about their dad, except for a several exception of legends. Now you did see, I believe Joe Dumars played his last game and his dad was dying. That was sad. It was tough. And his father passed away. Rest in peace to his father. Salute to Joe Dumars and them Pistons. It's a lot of people that's got fathers. I'm talking about the older NBA players, but the younger ones that don't have fathers is sad. Now, I think Ja Morant, he still has his. They suspended him with them games. He just they need to take that phone away for his damn hand. He need his ass whoop again. But anyways, but like the average players, they barely knew their fathers, and this is sad from us as a culture of this sorry culture of America. It don't get emphasized as enough. A lot of times, fathers, especially black fathers, specifically so-called black fathers, us, Israel, we can't even father kids correctly. Like we in society under Esau, man, it's really daunting. So mainly, you just have guys that's basically saying like they ain't trying to risk it. You know what I mean? You can't even discipline your child in public. I remember when I was growing up, parents discipline their kids. That goes for male and female. And sometimes the mama do it. She slap him if he does something wrong, trying to steal something. Correcting him. And same with the father. He shakes the kid up. Whoop his ass with the belt or whatever. I've seen it all. I miss them days in the '90s. Correction was something. It was really something in the '90s. And as in my childhood, I miss it so much because the '90s was the greatest pinnacle of all time, era wise. If I was old enough, I would have been, I would love the '90s myself. A lot of great shit in the '90s, a lot of shit to see and the fun. But the 2000s was okay too. I'm not gonna lie. The 2000s as a teenager was cool. Basketball was something. It was something to watch. But after the late 2000s, man, it got worse and worse each year. I think the 2000 teens or 20 teens or whatever you want to call them, it's probably the worst era. I hate to say it's the worst era of people, then fathers start slipping. They've been slipping for years, but not like this. They dipped. So when you look at the fatherhood of today's modern in the 2020s, in the 21st century, of the mid part of the 21st century, early to mid part of the 21st century, it's not really good. It's not really good for us. It's not really good for the people that's we're seeing as. You know what I'm saying? It gets kind of hectic in so many words. But when you look at Father's Day, it's one of those special days and rare occurrence. You see people celebrate their fathers with a family and all that stuff. And then they go to the nice meals and restaurants. You don't see that no more because after the pandemic, everybody done switched up. Everybody's getting divorces left and right, especially here. Now, they do promote fatherhood a little bit, but not as much in the state of Georgia. They do a little bit, but then you got women, actual women here celebrate both days, which is ridiculous. I try to laugh at it and I don't try to, I let them think like that, but they need a man in the house. They say, I don't need a man. I don't need a man in the house. Yes, you do, sweetheart. Yes, you do. I don't need a man in the house. I was like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Especially you have all boys. Yeah, you do. You can't raise them. Mama's too busy effing around. You know what I mean? She want that. She want that. She want that sweet candy. She wants something sweet at night. Or sprinkle her. Sprinkle, go sprinkle. Let me stop because they gonna come for me in this in this recording. But enough on that. But that y'all know what I mean. But it's just funny down here. It's very common like that down here. So don't expect anything better or anything worse. It's just I see it all the time. But that's just what I see mostly. But when you talk about Father's Day, it gets very, very hectic. And some people get caught up on not caring so much. I just don't understand the fact that people just get caught up on everything. So it's pretty much the emphasis what you want for Father's Day. So Father's Day is just like another day. You just get caught up and then you be like, okay, is that what really Father's Day is really about? Is it really about, celebrating your kids and everything else? And I think Father's Day should be about that. I think it should be. You see it effortlessly. People's doing it. They're doing the best they can. I remember growing up, everybody was getting gifts. And I think I gave my father a card a bunch of times. I mean, years ago. I'm talking about when I was small. Like you don't do that no more when they get older. You just send them some money. When you're an adult, you just send them some money, which is especially with birthdays, especially this day, they all have something in common these days. Like your birthday and father, they have something in common, right? You always send parents money. I don't know why. I think that's a tradition amongst us as a people, and actually in American people, they do this all the time. But it's just like Wow, you know what I'm saying? But they got gifts for them, fathers gifts, or what they call it, Manscaped. Manscaped some weird shit. I understand Manscaped is, it's some sexual shit with the pornography, but we ain't gonna get in that. That's the industry they're in. That's really catered to them. It's not catered to the ones um that's really out here living it up and be masculine, But some people say, I don't want no guy that's hairy. I was like, well, he's a man on me. If you marry him, you marry him. Everybody's into that the pornography stage, you know what I'm saying? Pornographic. They try to say, you can't say that word on it. Like, who cares? I'm saying it anyway. And it's sad that that's the standard what you see nowadays, especially on these sites, and especially I'm not gonna get into the particulars. Y'all know what I mean. Twitter, it's a mess. It's a cesspool of nonsense. You just get caught up on it, and then people just get upset, and they be like, "Yeah, yeah." He sent me a video of Malcolm. Okay, okay, okay. And it's kind of sad though. You don't have these days on Father's Day, like you don't talk about it as much. Most people just get caught up. And I'm just like saying, Father's Day is one of the greatest days. Like when I was coming up, and to me, I know it's idolatry on people. I just, I don't look at it as one of the greatest, but it's like when in childhood, I thought it's one of the greatest days to understand it and learn. Now, Mother's Day is good, like at the time, I was brainwashed into it. I thought it was a good day, but then Mother's Day becomes greedy. I'm like, I celebrate my both parents every day. Why they still here for a reason and guidance and teachment, and of course, but it just goes to show you I don't mind celebrating them. I celebrate them all the time, but these days I see the idolatry in it. People take it too far. And then once they become actual family or parents or whatever, they go overboard. And then the women's trying to take this day, try to say, well, we do both because we ain't got no man in the house. We do both. I am mommy and daddy. They always say that shit. They said that when I was a kid. Like I went to school with people that did not have fathers in the home. See, that's why I don't care for jealous people like that. It's a lot of kids are jealous of you because you have two parents. They try to say they ain't jealous of two parent home. Yeah, they are. I've seen it growing up. I've seen it in middle school. Don't act like that ain't true. It's always true. The reason they hate that's us people in other colors. They're jealous too. I've seen it on all sides. So anybody say that ain't, don't know what the hell they talking about. But it does happen a lot. It happens a lot. That's why Father's Day is very unique. It ain't for everybody. It's actually a day for them, technically. If you really want to get technical about Father's Day and Mother's Day, it's a day for people that has single parent homes. That's probably basically designed. I don't know. Now, some people say it ain't. It's supposed to be a holiday. To me, they're man made. There was no the history of Father's Day, Mother's Day when they came about. I probably should not do the research on it today because we don't need to get into it. Because next time, if I do a Father's Day edition, Um, I don't know when, but it's gonna be in a recording like this because last time I did it was in a live stream. Let's see something real quick. I want to see if I got a stream. It's one of those streams. It's 2 years ago, and I feel like that's the one that you need to look at. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, I know I'm kind of a little warm in the hoodie. It's just this morning. I just had breakfast. I had some, s- of course, eggs. Not eggs, but excuse me, but some steak. I had like steak for breakfast. I ain't gonna get into details of my breakfast. I didn't say no eggs. Did I say eggs? No, I didn't have no eggs. Okay, good. And some steak and bagels, and probably some few vegetables, and that's it. I had some. I mix my foods up. I do eat carbohydrates. They ain't making me fat. I'm still exercising like a wheelhouse. But you know what I'm saying? Like Thursday thrills, yeah, we ain't gonna be back until July. I'm afraid. July is more important. It's more important. You know what? I'm not gonna find it. I'll find it later. It's pretty much the same, but y'all get the point. But if y'all ever find the video that I talked about Father's Day 2 years ago, y'all let me know. Y'all can put it in the comment section or whatever. Yeah, I did something like that. It was a vlog stream. I did it, and I was just like, this is gonna be a little different. But this is different because Father's Day, you just have to have a day because I feel like this day is so important because I think Black fathers don't get celebrated as much, and you understand that this day is very unique. The ones that still fathers to their kids, which salute to y'all, man. I mean, I know it's a rough road in this sorry society. Yes, this is a same sexual month. We ain't gonna get into the particulars with them. I call them people same sexual. That's my code word for them. They said, "Why you call them same sexual?" That's what they are. I ain't gonna use the H and no. That can mean a lot of things, but we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. They don't deserve it. They think they're the opposite sex, and they not. This is their day. They don't ruined it. So, and then of course Juneteenth is tomorrow. I'll drop some recording for y'all later on about that, and then it'll be on the next day, and then you'll see it's a recording, and we'll talk about Juneteenth. And it's just my criticism of the holiday on a month. And I know everybody's gonna say it's Pride Month. We know it's a Pride Month for same sexuals, so we got to leave them alone. Let's not talk about them. Let this month die out. Then the next month we can start roasting their ass again. But they still own this some pieces of the platform. But just we got to chill off that because they coming in hard on everybody. Because they ain't playing. They're getting emotional. That's why there's too much competition online. Everybody wants to be heard, and then things go left. Bloop. You're up out of there. But anyways, yeah, Father's Day. Shout out to the real fathers out there. Y'all go celebrate your kids, or even if your grandfathers. This is for y'all, and your actual. This is for y'all. This is a day that's very unique. I ain't got much going on, but I'm just saying. I just want to make this day for y'all, specifically on Sunday dailies, because this is going to be an addition for y'all. Because normally Sunday dailies is basically we talk about various things. We talk about sports, and I just mentioned Jokic, his fatherhood with his kid, and after the championship, he hosted the trophy with his son. I thought it was real cool, and try to show him that it's just a hobby. He was probably teaching him, yeah, the guy's in his late 20s, good age, almost in his 30s. He's in his. A lot of people try to say he's in the prime of his career. He's getting into his prime. He's pre-prime. I use the term pre-prime. A lot of people try to say you're in the prime to get a championship 27, 28 years old. And that's not usually true. It's usually you're in a prime when you're in your 30s. A lot of people think 28 is when you get a championship. Not necessarily. You can get a championship in your 30s. If you already won a championship and you're close to an age that's already, and then you play with a superstar who's already in his 30s, you're not there yet, but you're getting there now. Jokic is getting into his prime. He'll be 30 real soon. He'll be 29 probably. I don't know if this year or next year or whatever. He's getting there. Because once he reaches 30, he's basically the same player, but he's improved his game and all this other stuff. And he's trying to break records now. Now, a lot of people just heard of him. I've heard of him since 2017. He's decent. But once he became the man winning this championship, pressure's on. Can they go back and do it again? Now, they proved me they didn't they actually proved me wrong. Salute to the Nuggets once again, but can you beat Jimmy Butler four times? He did. And the rare occasion you see a father like this don't really care about the game like that. He's so nonchalant. It's very interesting. I'm using him as an example. The other fathers of other, ethnicities, of course, even ours, don't really emphasize kids like that. I mean, they do, but not all of them. Like the big athletes, like the stars. Now, LeBron, he's an exception. He loves his kids. Everybody else is just like you don't hear that much. I mean, yeah, you got players that care about the kids. It's a handful. It ain't that many. Let's not kid ourselves. There ain't that many because the recent events with Ja and Zion, we ain't gonna get into that because this younger generation is trash. I would say damn near joy. Now, do I support some that is young? Like I hate to say, RJ Barrett's the only one that's decent. He's got a structured foundation. Now, I am a little biased because he came from a 2-parent home. Everybody else, not so much. It's the same diseases that we got to fix, but it's okay. You just calling out those individuals that are our top pick. Now, Ja Morant is a father of a daughter. Now, he's an exception too. The problem is he got to stop acting like these dudes that ain't got no fathers. It's not good. It's not. It's a red flag. Good shit. But that's what I see with his suspension. They're like, man, how you gonna make living for your kids if you're gonna waste all your money for you ruin your daughter's life, all the fuckery, man. You gotta stop, man. Gotta stop. So, anyways, salute to the fathers. Shalom to the people of Yah Israel. Keep y'all's workplace to the east as always. Until next time, I will see y'all on Thursday Thrills. Of course, after 4th of July, July 6th, of course, y'all come check me out or whatever. And like I said, I'll be talking about some things in July. It's gonna be political. It's gonna be some things that I'm gonna look at 2024. And yes, the 2024 part two, I'll drop that as well right after Juneteenth. I'll do probably 2 recordings, and I'll probably do that today, and probably the one with Juneteenth as well. We'll do 2, and I'll drop that one on Monday because I know it's that Monday y'all gonna celebrate. So with that, until next time, and I'm out.